Hi there, I'm 3B, but you can call me B. This is going to be my SGDQ 2023 submission for the Splatoon relay race. I'm going to be running Splatoon 3 any %, and this is my current best PB. I'm actually a newer runner to the category. I've only been running for about maybe 3.5 weeks between like time of recording and when you'll be seeing this, so I've already improved a lot since then, and I can't wait to see how much more I improve in the future, and of course GDQ would be a nice motivator to get you better even faster. I apologize for any coughs during post-commentary, by the way. I had bronchitis a couple weeks ago, and it is currently allergy season in Florida, so if there is any coughing mid-sentence or I start sounding weird, it's more than likely because I had to fight back a cough. After dealing with some lovely mashing from Craig Cuttlefish, we're going to go ahead and head straight to Crater 1, but you're going to notice I'm going to be holding to the right side of the ramps and this walkway, and that's because if you ink this ledge right here, you can then jump across and skip a little cutscene with Craig. That saves a bit of mashing, which is always nice because mashing is painful, and then of course saves a couple of seconds, and this is a speedrun. So, Crater 1's a bit of an auto-scroller, so all I'm going to say is we jump out a little early to ink switches to save a little bit of time. That's it. Good news for you though, Crater 2 is a lot more interesting. There's a bit more going on here, so that's going to be exciting. So as soon as we spawn in, we're going to start inking the area around us, and that's to build up splashdown for a really cool trick we're about to do. Once I land, again, more inking, more splashdown, and as I'm swimming up to this ledge, I'm going to try and time a jump perfectly, and then at the right moment, I'm going to splash down, and that's going to trigger a cutscene, like a checkpoint area right above me, and then I'm going to die. However, because I activated that checkpoint, I'm able to skip pretty much the entire level, do a nice little manipulation of inking the wall that I can then swim and just finish the level in 28 seconds or so. Now, Crater 3 is a doozy regardless of how you play it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about this trick, because what I do is a little bit boring here. You can do something called a small fry clip if you are in the right position and throw a small fry at the right angle. You can go ahead and ink this ink line and just completely ignore needing the key, which is useful for another trick we're going to do. where we're going to partially ink this switch and then squid surge up and grab another key. However, unfortunately, I don't go for the small fry clip in this run just because I wasn't consistent enough at the time. But I am going to go ahead and do that squid surge, and then we're going to go right over here, grab the second key, open both boxes, and go ahead and swim to collect Zapfish. But you could do a second small fry clip to save even more time. Again, I'm just not consistent enough. Now, right as soon as we grab this Zapfish, we're going to go ahead and quit out because it skips a little cutscene that we would have to mash through and saves a bit more time than if we just mashed through the cutscene. There's not much going on in Crater 4. There's two tricks of note, however. Coming up ahead, there's going to be a pillar, and once I beat everybody, it's going to like start slowly rising. What I do is I try my best to like ink the side and squid surge up. I unfortunately mess up the squid surge timing by like a couple seconds, unfortunately. But it saves a little bit of time and lets you just get ahead a little bit faster. And then right after that, we're going to be doing a small fry throw. If we land it, we don't have to swim over there and splat an Octarian, so it saves a bit of time. Super useful. You know, we'll take all the frames we can get of time save. Alright, so this is definitely going to be a one-take situation. Entering Octavio is pretty simple, but there's going to be a lot going on, so settle in and buckle your seatbelts. First things first, we're going to swim forward and shoot the fist. Obviously, the closer we are to Octavio, the less the fist has to travel, and we save more time. As soon as we shoot that fist back, we're going to be inking the ground to build up splashdown, shoot back another fist, and make sure we have splashdown by the time we move to the next platform, because he's going to do a spinning punch. Now, you cannot shoot spinny punches back until they've actually connected with the ground, and then you can shoot them. However, if you time a really good splashdown, right as the fist is landing, you can send the fist back and save a good bit of time. Super useful tech to do. And then, of course, we're going to send back one more fist because Octavio is in phases of like 4 hits per him falling out of his mech. And then you shoot him, send him back to the mech, and you enter the next phase as you're about to see. Now, Phase 2 has what we call ink fact skip, which is pretty interesting. So this is going to revolve to the splashdown we made sure we had by the end of Phase 1, and he's going to shoot his fist and then activate ink fact to prevent you from shooting. But if you land if you do your splashdown like normal, you're able to break it. before the ink vac can suck up your splashdown. But if you throw small fry like right after, he'll still go in the ink vac because there's that little bit of grace period between like the vacuum ending and the fist hitting the mech, which saves a bit of time. And then if we're just going to rinse and repeat, shooting back fists, splashing down where we need to, and building up special pretty much constantly so we can splash down spinny punches when they come out and shoot back normal fists when they come out. So pretty much immediately, we're gonna ink and swim forward because he's gonna do like a palm attack. If we actually gave it the chance to, it'd connect to the ground and send out some wave breaker lines. Pretty cool stuff, but we're gonna bypass that by aiming up and shooting and build up some special so we can splash down and shoot back a spinny punch. We're gonna start building more special as he swims to the left. He's gonna do another palm attack. Again, we're just gonna aim up and shoot. And we're going to make sure we have splashdown built by the 4th punch, because then we're going to splash down to shoot the fist back before he starts an ink vac attack. We're going to shoot Octavio, and as soon as we see game saved in the bottom left corner, I'm going to go to the home screen and quit out of the game because it completely skips the ending cutscene of Crater, which is way too long, and it lets us just go straight into Alterna as soon as we re-enter the story mode. Unfortunately for you watching this, unfortunately for me recording this, there's a lot of mashing up ahead, and there's honestly not too much to talk about, but I will go ahead and go into the fact that we do some, like, highly specific egg routing, and we have to make sure we're able to grab a certain amount of egg canisters, and in this route we do 4 levels instead of 2, because in 2 level there's a really hard trick called Owen Skip that is the bane of most runners' existences. Doing a good Owen can save like 5 minutes if you play the run well up to that point. Like, it's a crazy important trick, and I've landed it, just not on a PB pace run, so that's why you're going to be seeing a 4-level route instead of a 2-level route here, just because Owen Skip is the worst. But that's okay, because more levels just means more content for you to see, right? So there's a bit going on here with 1-1. There's going to be a skip I don't do called Key Skip that is ridiculously difficult and does not save enough time for me to practice it in this run. However, it is something I've been practicing outside of runs, and it's been kicking my butt, to be blunt, but, you know, a lot of time between now and GDQ, right? So we're going to be gathering at least 25 eggs by the end of this level, because we need those 25 eggs. There's not really any other consistently fast way to get them outside of here in 1-1, so we grab them here, but it's okay. It's literally just popping some balloons, going through some squid rings, and playing the level like normal. Obviously, we wish we had level 3 shot to make it go faster, but hey, you know, we don't get that till Shiver, so guess we'll have to be patient. So we're going to be gathering collectibles throughout the entire run, just to make sure we have enough upgrade points to be able to upgrade our gear at certain crucial points of the run. So that's why we'll be grabbing collectibles throughout. And by the way, upcoming is a totally legit, undisputed world record, so I hope you're very excited for that. And world record! Not actually, though, no. Big Bang's very easy to consistently get 2 seconds on. 3 people have been insane enough to go for like the borderline frame perfect with a pause abuse 1 second, and a pause abuse is literally just pausing at the right moment to make the level go to mission complete sooner than if the game just let it sit naturally. I'm going to do a much easier variant of 800 ooze skip here, where we spend 200 eggs on top of this red whatever the heck it is, to do a much less precise jump. Left side 800's pretty easy once you know what you're looking for, but at the time I just couldn't consistently land it, so we do this instead. A little bit of time loss, a little bit of egg loss, but at the end of the day we're still able to perfectly route around it, so it's whatever is easier for the runner. And then we're going to do a trick called DCS, and essentially when we're popping this ooze, if we get past a certain point, we're going to be in the air when the ooze is done popping, which is going to completely bypass the trigger for a cutscene, which saves like a minute, and you're good to move on to the next site. It's that simple. There's a pretty easy setup to do, and I did a slight variation of that, and we just go on ahead to site 2, which is going to be a little hectic, so get ready. Now I'll admit, I might have hyped up Site 2 just a little bit. Only thing that matters is that when we're gathering all the collectibles we need, we're fast enough to go ahead and throw Small Fry at a red balloon to make sure he pops it, because we need those 100 eggs, it's important. Which honestly isn't too hard, you just gotta follow good pathing and you'll get it easy peasy. After doing a bit more collectibles, we're gonna do a trick called Discount Fries, where we're gonna like waddle to the edge of this cylinder where you see me breaking this kettle open, and you're literally just gonna like jump. You're gonna waddle this corner, jump and hold forward, and if you time it just right, you're gonna land over there. But what we're actually gonna do is I'm gonna drop down first due to this 4-level route, and grab everything, when in a 2-level route you grab the Sardinium and then everything else afterwards. But because of 4-level route, it honestly saves more time to grab this stuff now than it does to do it later. Because then we can quit out after Fry and save a little cutscene. So we save a bit more time than we lose here, fortunately enough. So most of our time save is going to come from doing a level in Site 3. Time loss, my bad. Most of our time loss from 4-level to 2-level is going to be in Site 3 where we do a level, and then Site 4 where we do one as well. So I could rant about Fry RNG for like half an hour, but I'm going to spare you that so we can actually focus on the run. So Fry is completely RNG based. Her opening is RNG. The amount of eels you have to break in the second phase is complete RNG, and the placement of her eels in her third attack in her third phase, not her third attack, her attack in her third phase is also complete RNG. So, you know, you just gotta get lucky with Fry. It sucks, but that's just how it is. But after we collect the, treasure, as they refer to it, we're going to quit out of the game, as mentioned, jump to that kettle you saw me pop earlier, and we're just going to head straight into Site 3 and do a pretty cool skip. So, entering Site 3, you get to do some cool tricks. So first we're gonna mash, cause gotta love mashing, gotta love a mash heavy game, right? Gotta keep the wrists free and ready, you know? Gotta really keep them warmed up. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna come forward, we're going to break this kettle open. I usually jump to it for safety, but honestly at this point I've gotten consistent enough at this trick that I just go for it without the safety jump, but I always pop the kettle just in case. But what we're going to do is we're going to ink the ledge right beside this fence, and we're going to do a left squid roll, and if you time it at the right spot and hold the right angle, you can just completely skip this ooze, which is of course crucial for egg routing, like almost every single trick we do in this run is, and saves us so much time, because as you're going to see, doing one level adds like a minute to our time just to get some eggs to skip a trick. So we're just going to run around, we're going to grab a bunch of stuff, some collectibles to get upgrade points, some eggs for eggs, because we need eggs, 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 eggs. I hope you're ready for some breakfast, because we got eggs. Then we're going to go ahead and go into this level, and we're going to do it pretty fast, like 30 to 40 seconds pretty optimally, using Squeezer, which is just fast, gives us good eggs, honestly just perfectly fine. And you're going to think to yourself, wow, B, 30 seconds, like 35, 36 seconds on a level sounds fast. On paper, you got to factor in load times, you got to factor in the entrance and exit sequence, because this is an RTA run, because of course it is, it's any percent. So unfortunately, even though this makes the route a little bit more beginner friendly and just nicer, because Owen Skip isn't in it, and we all know how I feel about Owen Skip, it's just, it costs a bit of time loss. But you know what? It's okay, this run is still pretty awesome. Now we're going to do one of my least favorite tricks in the run, kettle jump. Again, you're going to notice there's an ooze in our way. You're going to notice a pattern here with this category. But, so what we can do is we can jump and ink this kettle and completely bypass having to do like this ooze break, which again is important for eggs. Have I mentioned eggs yet? Because there's more eggs coming, so look forward to those. But you do the kettle jump. Hopefully you do it first try, because if not, you're losing time. But honestly, on a decent run, you can squeeze in 1 or 2 attempts before you're really losing too much time, which again is fine. It's fine. And then we're gonna jump into Moxie Skip, pun slightly intended. What we're gonna do is we're gonna ink the ground like right beside this pole, and we do a specific lineup so that we can hold a straight angle and jump right at the edge of the ledge, nice, and take advantage of death triggers when entering an ooze. Because if you die at just the right spot on this ooze, the game's gonna think, oh, you died on, like, right beside the grate at this ooze. Oops, let me put you back here, instead of respawning us at the kettle where we should have respawned. Good news for me, bad news for 2-level route. Site 4 is easy for me because of egg routing and the fact we're doing a level here. It's a little bit more stressful for 2-level because you have to be able to meet a certain balloon cycle to get those 100 eggs, because they're pretty important if I do say so myself. And so says the rest of the community routing the game, but shh. So we're gonna run around. We're gonna make sure we grab at least 5 100 egg canisters before we head over to our second and I guess 4th, technically, not counting bosses, 4th and final level of the run, which is going to be Ink Fast Hot Shot. Nice reference, by the way. I don't know what it's a reference to, but nice reference. We're gonna choose Pro, just because it's a little bit faster, and the eggs we get from doing Swiffer honestly just ain't worth it. So we're gonna use Pro instead. We're gonna go for at least like sub-minute, just because this level's a little slow if you follow certain balloon cycles, but it's fine. We're good at the game. We're speedrunners. So we're gonna get the eggs. We're gonna just go ahead and grab more collectibles. Make sure we have just enough Sardinium and upgrade points to max upgrade to level 3 Hero Shot. There we go. And then head to Shiver, who's honestly a cakewalk, and we'll break down how easy once we get to that fight. Okay, so I might have dramatized Shiver a little bit. Actually, no, I didn't. Shiver's easy. Literally, you just walk in a circle and hold down right trigger. I don't know what else you want me to say. That's it. That's all she wrote. So, aside from dealing with an unskippable cutscene, thanks Nintendo, honestly, you just walk in a circle twice, and shoot the shark, shoot the lady, and then during the third phase, you shoot the shark, and then you do a splashdown right as the lady lands and her hitbox gets activated to insta-splatter, which is cool and epic and awesome. I'm trying to make this fight cool, but honestly, it's so easy. So, you know. We're gonna grab the thing, the treasure, the goody good loot, the treasure, and we're literally gonna quit out once again to skip a little cutscene. We're gonna jump back to that kettle we opened, and we're gonna go ahead and go to site 5 to then go to site 6. So, you know, here we go. Whee! Wahoo! It's me, Mario! No, it's me, B. Sorry to disappoint. As we're entering Site 5, you're going to notice that little red wire. There's a backup, 100 eggs there if you need them. I don't need them because I remembered to pop a red balloon in Site 3, which isn't necessary to the route, but if you remember to do it, you remember to do it. So we're just gonna swim forward. We're gonna hop over to like this orange crate. We're gonna stand on this corner and we're just kind of gonna shoot until we open that kettle. Jump to that kettle. Then we're gonna pop this 800 ooze, go up, and this is where Owen's skip would be performed. Luckily, I don't have to in this route. So we throw little buddy, our beautiful baby boy, at this ooze, eat it, jump into the abyss, and by the abyss, I mean the ground below us as the ooze is like solidifying, and go ahead and go to the final site, good old Site 6. So as we approach Big Man and pop one big ooze on the way, I'm gonna go ahead and go into detail about sensorless Big Man. So sensorless Big Man is exactly what it sounds like, sensorless Big Man. We have the sensor from our hero upgrade path, and if we dip in the ink, we can see which Big Man's going to be the real Big Man during the fight. However, using the same RNG manip from our small fry haircut, we can figure out exactly where he's going to go based off of how many quit outs we've done. Coincidentally, the quit out at Shiver also gives us a set Big Man sensorless pattern. I don't go for all 3 phases completely sensorless just because I feel it's more important to consistently keep tracking your enemy when you're not going for world record. Because you mess up Big Man once, you lose like 25 seconds. So I say it's worth losing 4 seconds to save 21, you know? It's just a bit more comfy, a bit easier, and honestly doesn't make you lose a run if you're on a great pace. But sensorless Big Man can save some good time, and I've actually been going for a bit more openly on 2-level runs, so you know, that's always exciting to see. We're going to do a quit out here to save a cutscene and let us go straight into the rocket intro, which is going to be a lot of cutscenes, and we'll just talk more about rocket stuff once we get there. So enjoy the cutscenes and see you in a bit. Welcome back from the cutscene. Are you ready for another one that we mashed through? I could technically skip this with Nether Skip, which if done optimally saves 15 seconds. However, the setup I've learned to do it is way slower, so at the moment I just mashed through. I am practicing how to do it faster. It's just taking some time, and I couldn't PB with it because 2-level route's brutal, as we both know now. So, you know, let's look forward to that in future runs, but for today, I think we'll just dash instead. Now let's head up to Rocket 1, where we're going to just use some good movement to get through and get ready for one of the most crucial skips of the run. Switch Skip. Now I know what you're thinking, how do we skip using the console we're playing on? That's not why it's named Switch Skip. It's named Switch Skip because the person who found the latter half of Switch Skip goes by Switch. That's the lore. That's it right there. So when you squid roll into this red pipe you see, or you're going to see at least, if you do it at just the right angle, you can start going up the pipe. And if you go onto a certain seam by tapping right, just right, pun intended, you can snap onto a certain seam that lets you go all the way up, and when you hold left, after bonking, you can land and then go out of bounds and land in the area going to Rocket Phase 4, which is awesome! I actually died here before though, funny enough. If you don't time a jump right, you can fall into a death plane. It's really silly and stupid, and it's why you're gonna see I save a bunch of time here, because my old PB had me die here in Switch Skip. So, it's awesome, pretty epic, and we're gonna go into Rocket 4, where Spiral has nothing interesting, but we're gonna talk a bit more once we get to Zipcaster. So, see you then! welcome to Phase 4 Part 2, or what should have been called Phase 5 in my opinion. So there's a trick here called Zipcaster Out of Bounds, which you literally get out of bounds with Zipcaster, and can save a good bit of time. I actually got this in a 2-level route, again, just did PB because of Owen Skip. Thanks, Owen Skip. But it's a pretty cool trick. Honestly, not that hard to execute once you know what you're doing. Didn't go for it here simply because I didn't know how to do it. It's a little precise, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. So we're just going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of 4.2 and get ready to get grizzed. Oh, this cutscene's super long, and Craig kinda dies for a moment, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, he'll be alive again, and I'll see you in space. We're in space now, and we're fighting a giant bear! That's pretty cool. So there's actually not too much to say about the Grizz rocket as a whole. It's honestly just a lot of optimal movement, not dying, and not stubbing your toe on Rocket Ooze, which we'll talk about in a moment. Actually, now is the moment. The moment is now. Rocket Ooze has like a weirder hitbox than the normal Ooze in Alterna, and Crater also has weird Ooze, but it wasn't really relevant to talk about there, so it kind of comes up here. During part of this fight, I wiggle a little too close to Grizz while shooting him and stub my little pinky toe in the Ooze, and I die. Which costs me like 25 seconds or so, and costs me the sub 107, so if you're wondering why this isn't a 106, there you go. It hurts me to say it as much as it hurts you to hear it. But, you know, we're just going to PB again with the 2-level route, and it's going to be fine. So, see you when that happens. Honestly, there's not too much more to talk about. Again, literally just good movement, good small fry placement, good inking, not dying. Yeah, not dying. And, I'll see you in the final push. here we are at the end. Grizz is trying to bring the return to the mammalians. We're fighting back. There's not much more insight I can give you. There's some quick cycles we can do, but they're really rough, and I haven't perfected them yet, and I didn't go for them in this PB just because we'd already lost so much time. Honestly, I just want to take this time at the end here, as we beat Grizz into a less hairy pulp, to say thank you for reviewing the Splatoon series relay. I think it's really cool that we can do this, you know, or that we have the chance to do this. I think being able to run an entire series in like five hours is incredible, really. I absolutely adore the community who have welcomed me in with open arms and taught me and helped me improve so much. Everybody here is so lovely, and I could not list enough names to share my thanks with everyone. So this is where I'm going to say it. And thank you, GDQ staff, for even humoring us and listening to us. It means a lot to us, every single one of us runners, to even have the opportunity to share our passion with you. And I am ecstatic to share my passion for this game with you. So as we close out, I just thank you. I hope you enjoyed the run, and I hope I was plenty silly for you. And, what's that they say in Inkopolis? Oh yeah, stay fresh.